Hey guys, my name is Zach, and I'm about to start Awakening 3 of my Holosync. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and I wanted to just relay some of my experience to people who are considering Holosync and to people who are using it. Um, to give you a little bit of background about my past, I'm 36 now, and during my 20s, I actually was a drug dealer. I used and was addicted to a series of drugs, which actually ended up landing me in prison for about 15 months. So, about 6 years ago, I started my life over. And when I started my life over, I was on top of the world. I thought the sky was going to be the limit. And then I realized that I was stuck with every bad attitude, anger, lust, resentment, blame, every bad attitude that a person could have was pretty much inside of me. And I'm an introvert, so it wasn't really outwardly expressed, it was more inwardly expressed, and it was bothersome. My emotions were totally in control. I was, my thinking was so impulsive, it was scary. So I actually started about 4 or 5 years ago to do self-development. I started with Tony Robbins' program, and I have a painting business. I can actually listen to books at work. So I have done a lot of self-development. I've listened to hundreds of books. Slowly but surely, it was changing my life. I mean, there's no doubt that it was. I had heard about meditation in a lot of these programs, and it was recommended by a lot of authors that I really respect. And I would try to do it a couple times. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd sit down for 5 minutes, in the morning. My mind is racing, and I'm just like, I don't get it. So I didn't really make it that far. And last year, my business keeps getting better and better, but it also, with it getting better, it seems to be more stressful. And that was actually manifesting in relationships I was having with girls. I was kind of being mean. Then I got in a big argument with my mom, which never happens. And at that point, I remember Bill Harris and Centerpoint had been sending me information about their Holosync program for about 6 months. And I honestly thought it was too good to be true. I'm very skeptical by nature. I mean, obviously, especially on the internet. I mean, people marketing, they really go above and beyond trying to tell you that their product is completely going to change your life. Every product does that. And um, I was hesitant, but I was actually pretty desperate. I was like, I need to do something. Like, I do all the self development stuff. I mean, it's helping, but as far as like a spiritual connection and all that stuff, I still was, wanting to explore that route. So I started doing some research. I actually was torn between Holosync and LifeFlow. Um, I actually did LifeFlow first. I bought the program. I tried it for like a week, but for some reason, I think my heart intuition was telling me to go with Holosync, because I was thinking it's more of an expensive program, but if this really could do all the stuff that it said that it could do, that it was going to add more value to my life than the $179 or whatever it is to start the program. So I actually changed to Holosync. Um, at first, I was gung ho. I mean, it is long. 60 minutes is a long time to meditate when you have not meditated. It is hard to find that time in the day. That is always going to be the battle. I did want to mention up front on one of the videos, Bill Harris does say by special request that you can get shorter Holosync tracks. So for those who are pressed for time, you might want to look into that option. I do feel personally that doing close to 60 minutes is the most beneficial. Um, at first, I had a really hard time. The first week or two, I actually could sit down and I was motivated to do it for 60 minutes. After about 3 weeks or so, I was having a hard time doing it. I really didn't want to do it. I noticed benefits. I definitely right away I noticed I was a lot more at peace, which was great. But to dedicate an hour out of your already busy day to do this, it's challenging. So I actually got this bright idea because I'm Mr. Productivity that I'm going to listen to it in the morning while I do my other stuff. So here I am at the house, I'm cleaning, I'm doing whatever in the morning, and I'm listening to it. And I'm like, well, this has got to be the next best thing. I can just listen to it, you know, because at that point I was thinking, well, the magic is in the technology of Holosync. And I actually went round and round about that for a long time about, is it the meditation or is it the Holosync that is the Holosync technology that is actually doing the changes? I actually come to the conclusion that Holosync facilitates a deeper level meditation to see changes, but it's meditation. It's the calming of the mind. So basically, I was having a hard time until I started Awakening 1. I decided like I better get serious about this and sit down and do it, because I actually read or somewhere on the Centerpoint website it was like it's not going to be effective if you're doing other things, because if your mind is busy doing other things, you're really not meditating. You're not letting your mind settle, so to speak. So at Awakening 1, I kind of realized that I was going to recommit and sit down for as long as I could and truly meditate. Don't be doing anything else, eyes closed. And it took about a month or two, but I really started getting into it, and I actually realized that it was creating so much freedom in my days. My thinking was so much clearer. My days were better. I was having really great days that I actually came to the conclusion that it's almost one of the most important things I do for myself, because I am so much better as a person. I'm more focused. My thoughts are more positive, more clear throughout the day. So to me, it's actually become one of my number one priorities. Now, one thing that did scare me when I was looking into the program was this thing called upheaval. It sounds evil. So, have I experienced upheaval? Yes, I have. I have. I say I have experienced physical symptoms like flu-like, headache, mental upheaval. Yes, I mean maybe crazy thoughts, different things, but for me, it was nothing that I couldn't handle, because I was actually every day suffering so much from my thoughts and emotional distress that the meditation alone was calming most of that. So the upheaval I was going through was almost like commonplace every day before I started the meditation. So, you know, one thing that helped me was to watch different videos on Centerpoint or on YouTube from other people who were doing Holosync, to get their experience, to at least, you know, not feel like I was crazy, because I actually don't talk to anybody about my meditation in my real life, because it's just, you know, people are interested in other stuff, to be honest with you. I mean, the spiritual journey can be a lot of a lonely journey. My parents are actually Christian ministers, and there's no way I could ever tell them. And it sucks, because it's actually changing my life so much for the better, and I'd love to be able to share that with them, but they're just not open-minded like that. So that's okay. And so basically, yeah, and read Bill Harris's books, Thresholds of the Mind, Managing Evolutionary Growth. I mean, all those support that support information helps, and you can actually call their hotline. I never did that, but if you're going through serious upheaval, you might want to do that. So overall, the program is changing my life. I mean, it is actually the best decision I think that I've ever made. I'm I'm capable this year of more stuff because my mind is calmer um, than I ever thought I could imagine. Like I do really believe too about what Bill says about the stress threshold, because I think from my past I had a very low threshold for stress. And if you have a very low threshold for stress, you are going to do all sorts of stuff to avoid doing the things you need to do for success in your life. And you will not even realize you're doing it. You might just numb out, watch TV. Some people would do it with food, alcohol, drugs, cigarettes. I mean, anything. So, you know, I definitely feel it is definitely raising my stress threshold, which is opening up great possibilities for my life. Now I can actually, this is one other point I want to talk to you about too. Creativity. I mean, I am becoming very creative. I mean, I didn't really ever look at myself as being a creative person, but now, like, the ideas that I get, and I do really attribute a lot to a meditation, calming your mind so you can actually have some original thoughts of your own, especially when it comes to results in your life. The creativity, it's awesome. I mean, that's actually where true change comes, because I mean, if you can get one creative idea to change the way you're looking at something in your life, it can actually change everything. I mean, one creative thought. So yes, I mean, I would definitely not look too much at the negative side of Holosync, too much, because yes, the program is 60 minutes. Yes, it is expensive. It costs money. There's a little bit of upheaval. But the value that you will get from doing it, and I do feel you have to do it about a year before you will really truly understand. Like, it's not going to be like a month, 2 months. Yeah, you'll start seeing some stuff, but if you do it for a year and you look back at yourself after a year, you will probably be blown away at the changes that you're making and what's going on in your life. Another topic I wanted to touch base on was about what do you do with your mind when you're meditating? Because that was a big thing of mine at first. I'm not supposed to be thinking, and my mind is like, I live in an apartment by myself, and the first time I closed my eyes to meditate, the door was locked. I live in a safe neighborhood. I was actually scared to close my eyes. Like somebody was going to come in and kill me. Like, that was my mind. Like, honestly, like, I was almost scared. Like, but I pushed through it, and I was like, logically, I'm like, whoa, I mean, come on, man. You're in your apartment. This is a safe neighborhood. The door is locked, So it actually took me a while just to be able to sit calmly with my eyes closed and deal with my mind. Now what I kind of realize is, for the first 30 minutes or so in the dive, a lot of times I describe it as I'm burning off thoughts that are on my mind, but I might not be thinking about them, like problems, issues, situations with people, in my awareness, but they might not be right at the front of my mind. But I feel like for the first 30 minutes or so, those things kind of pop up. And I just really, I call it just letting it go, or I just see it, and then it's just like, it's gone. It almost feels like, if you've ever heard that word release, like, it seems like it releases. Obviously the issues, the problems, all that stuff's always going to be there, but it does feel like your mind seems to deal with it a little bit better. Instead of just like busy, can't really dedicate the time and effort to actually thinking about some of the stuff that's going on in your life. Like, that's the time. Like, let it come up. Okay, yeah, it's there. You don't even have to make decisions. You can, and then just let it go. And then normally during the immersion for the last 30 minutes, or sometimes honestly I might only go for like 50 minutes. But it's a lot deeper level of a piece and less thought. Still thought, but a lot less. So I hope that's helpful too. Yeah, guys, I mean, I'm not going to ramble. I'm going to let you go. This is kind of random anyways. I was wanting to make a little checklist so I could cover every little thing that I wanted to tell everybody about it. But if you want to dramatically change your life, it all starts with your thoughts. One of the most compulsive, addictive things that we do is thinking. Thinking about stuff that is counterproductive, that doesn't do our life any good. And a lot of those thoughts are probably not even truly yours, because if you think about how much TV, how much radio influences around us, I mean, all that stuff goes in your mind and comes out through thought somehow. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer in that and in what your impressions are in life. You know, if your impressions, you're going on Facebook, you're on the internet, what are you looking at? You know, I mean, that affects your thought process. I mean, that's debatable, I know, but if you want to calm your mind down to get to the true core of some of the things that are going on inside of you, then this Holosync program is for you. It will dramatically improve your peace. You'll be able to handle more. You'll be more successful. So I'm probably going to make another video when I'm going to be starting Awakening 4 or whatever the next level is. I hope this has been a good session. I hope you guys liked it. I made this for you and just to get it off my mind, because I've been wanting to make a review video about Holosync. So until next time, guys, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.